We also have the bill stating that you don't have any responsibility.
Right.
I already sent a communication to my back office team for them to let the client know that this needs to be closed and this needs to be deleted from your credit bureau reporting. I sent it to them earlier. We just need to wait for their response, okay, so that we can finally give you an assurance that this is already closed and deleted. Now, Mr. Carter, I just want to explain to you the process, okay? We are a third-party collections agency. You are actually talking to a manager from the call center, meaning to say we just have limited resources. We are just, we just have the information provided by the client, which is EMC Emergency Physicians. Now, we do have a back office team who communicates with the client. Since we are handling billions of accounts, different accounts, utilities, medical bill, mortgages bill, our system cannot be perfect at all. So sometimes, if we already receive a confirmation stating that this should be closed and this should be out of collections, we're not able to do it or to resolve it as soon as possible. So I really apologize. I know we already have the proof. It's just that we are not able to work on it right away. But I'll make sure to keep an eye on this, okay? It was prioritized because we don't just send communication to the client, okay, without any valid reason. But since I know that this needs to be resolved as soon as possible, I already communicated with them and told them that this needs to be resolved as soon as possible.
Okay. Now you're saying to the client being EMC Physicians, correct?
Yes, they are a client.
And you said you have to let them know that it needs to be resolved?
Yes, the confirmation should be coming from them.
Right.
We already have the proof.
Right.
Okay? It's just that for us to close the account, we need to have a confirmation from them for us to be able to close the account from our office.
Okay. And the confirmation that came, basically the letter that was sent to you all that, I got copies of that you sent to me, is that's not them letting you know that the account has been closed or zero balanced or whatever they did, write off, whatever. So you saying you have to, basically he told me that you guys have to get back in touch with EMC, the people who told you in the beginning that the account was at zero. You have to reach back out to them.
Sorry for the misunderstanding. Yes. Sorry for the misunderstanding, sir.
Oh, so that's not what has to happen.
Getting in touch with them means waiting for the proof that will be coming from them.
Okay, so
right, while letting them know that this needs to be closed, okay, it's different. We already have the proof,
right,
indicating that it has a zero balance.
Right.
Now we cannot just go ahead and close an account without letting them know about it. All right,
but
because our system won't be able to do that.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize. And trust and believe 100%. I do understand exactly what you're saying. Right? I understand I can comprehend exactly what you're saying. Right? It's just that I guess, I don't know, my understanding, when they sent you all a letter or whatever, a correspondence stating that, telling you, the collection agency, that, okay, the bill has been taken care of. Whichever way it's been taken care of, it's been taken care of. And it has a zero balance.
All right, let me restate, okay?
I don't need you to restate. I understand exactly, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I understand exactly everything that was already said.
Okay. Call center employees are not allowed to close an account.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
So call center employees are not allowed to close the account.
That's fine. I understand
our
that.
back office team. Okay, our back office team can do that. So I don't have, or anyone here from the call center don't have any authority to close the account.
I understand
All
that.
right?
That's not my goal. That's not my goal. I understand that. That's why I keep telling y'all, I understand what you're saying. I understand the short staff. I understand the COVID-19. I understand right now you don't have the back office staff that takes care of those type of things to be able to do anything about it at this time. It's going to take some time till you get people back there. I understand all of that. That was not my intent or purpose or question. I'm just stating that if they are the ones, if EMC are the ones who told you guys that the account is zero and it should be reported to the credit bureau as zero in a dispute, it should be noted that it's at zero because of a write-off, a charge-off, or whatever the case may be, that it was closed off. They the ones that let you know that, EMC, correct? Now, I'm being told that you, the collection agency, right, has to be the ones who actually close the account and reach out to the credit bureau to let them know what the situation is. I understand that part. The part that I don't understand is you're saying, and he said, that now you guys have to reach back out to the client, EMC, the people who sent you the notice saying that it should be closed and sent you this credit bureau, all that. You got to reach back out to them so they can confirm what they've already told you about the account before you can actually do what they've already writtenly expressed for you all to do, which is to make the balance zero, reach out to the credit bureau, let them know that it's zero, and update them on why and what happened, basically the way credit bureaus and credit debt collectors do business. But before you can do any of that, you have to have confirmation from EMC, the person that initiated, or the people that initiated the process of telling you, the debt collector, that the balance is zero and all of this stuff should be done. That's the part that I don't understand. Why do you have to reach back out to the people who told you that the account is closed and what you need to do with it, as you all being the debt collectors that work for EMC, which is the client? That's the part I just don't get. Now, if he was confused, mistaken, or whatever, and he just said, well, it's just not that easy, sir. Once we get that information, it has to be put in our computer system, and it goes from this office to be approved by this office. Then it has to be written off by a supervisor before we can reach out to the credit bureau and let them know the information. And that takes some time, maybe 30 to 90 days. Then I would understood perfectly, 100% without a doubt. Things take time. I understand that. I'm administrative assistant, certified business and data processor, certified word processor, been administrated behind a clerk for over 30 years. I'm just saying that didn't sound right to me, that he had to, or they had, you guys, and you said it too, have to reach back out to the client and have the client basically verify the information that they already told you is there and needs to be done. That's just the only part that I didn't understand. And
sorry for the misunderstanding. Now that you were talking to me, okay?
Right.
I was the one who actually communicated with them.
Okay.
Right. As I have said earlier, no one here from the call center can close the account, even though we already have the proof.
No problem.
So, should I say that I communicated with the back office team so that they could do that for us?
Okay.
Okay? Since they will also see the proof stating that the account is zero. So they might not, contact the client anymore because we already have a valid proof indicating that it is a zero balance. Right. But since they are the only one who has the authority to close an account, right, then I forwarded it to them so that it will be prioritized.
Not a problem. I understand that. I understand that 1,000,000,000%. Not a problem.
I do apologize, sir.
No problem.
Now, I'll go ahead and make a follow-up on this. I already added this to my notes, reminders.
Right.
That way, once and for all, we can get this resolved as soon as possible. I do apologize if only I can do something to close this or...
No, I understand. I understand that's not your job. That's not what you do. I understand that. I get it. No problem. I totally 100% completely understand a little better, a lot better than I did before. And I do appreciate you taking your time out to get on the phone and try to take it. And I definitely appreciate you making a note and reaching out to the back office whenever they get in to see if they can do whatever they can do as soon as they possibly can. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You have satisfied any and all of my questions. The guy, he was great. He expressed everything, completely. It wasn't his fault that I just didn't understand exactly what he was telling me. And that's all. I just wanted some clarification. But I appreciate you taking your time out to go through all of this.
Yes, sir. I do apologize. Okay?
No problem.
I don't mean to give you a hard time.
No, I didn't feel like you gave me a hard time. I understand. Trust me. I understand a little better than most.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You keep safe, okay?
You do the same. You all have a great day. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Not a problem. Bye-bye. These people must think I'm absolutely 100% completely unadulteratedly stupid. Y'all sitting here telling me that you basically y'all don't know what's going on. So because I basically started recording after I talked to a supervisor. The whole situation was my credit report has an item on there that's been on there for 6 years from a doctor's office, basically. The account should have been paid by insurance 6 years ago. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know how it got mixed up, what the miscommunication was, but they should have had a medical assistance number 6 years ago that would have paid for the account. It would have been fine. Everything was up 100% working. There was no problem with my insurance at the time. It should have been done. It wasn't. It stayed on my credit report and affected my credit report for the last 6 years, going on 7. Now, when I was made aware of this situation, about it being on the report and it could be resolved by a phone call, I took those steps and did that. I called them, gave them the medical assistance number that I had at the time. They looked it up, fine, they found it, they applied it, the insurance company paid it, it was over with. That company, EMC Physicians, called the creditor, the debt collector. They called the debt collector and let them, I apologize. They wrote the debt collector a letter and told them that the account is zero, it's closed out, reach out to the credit bureau, let them know that it's closed out, it's fine, and we're good. Basically, that was the gist of it. The debt collector doesn't do that. I look on my credit report 30 days later, it's been updated on the 20th of May that I still owe this $600 and some odd dollars. Now, they received the letter on April the 27th, 4/27/2020, stating that it should be closed out and go to the credit bureau and let them know that everything is done. Put it in as a disputed status. And everything would be fine. Now, I called the credit bureau when it wasn't done. The credit bureau, the first guy that gets on there tells me that although EMC reached out to them and told them that it needs to be closed out, they need to contact the credit bureau and have it straightened out. He tells me that now they got to reach out to EMC. Now, this is the debt collector saying to me that they got to call back to or get in contact with EMC so that EMC can reach back out to the debt collector so they can enter it into their computer system that the balance is zero, and they need to reach out to the credit bureau and let them know that it's zero, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not understanding this. Why do the debt collector have to go back to the person who told them that the account was zero and to close it out to verify that the account is zero and they should close it out, when the original person that the debt was owed to, the EMC, is the one who told the credit bureau that it's zero and it needs to be closed out. They need to verify that the letter that they got is verified by being verified again by them back to the credit bureau, so they can then forward that information to the credit bureau and let the credit bureau know it's zero, it's been closed out, paid off, wrote off, charged off, whatever. So I asked to speak to a supervisor because I explained that to him like 5 or 6 times and he acted like he didn't understand. He kept saying the same thing. So I asked for a supervisor because we just weren't communicating to the level that I needed to understand. Maybe it was me. I just couldn't understand what he was saying. So when we get switched over to a supervisor, basically is when I started recording the call and you guys hear everything that's going on from the second part of the conversation in the call up until I started talking to you right now. So she basically gets on the phone, to sum it up. She basically gets on the phone and says, look, the guy, she didn't say these words, you heard the actual conversation, but he fucked up. He wasn't supposed to say that they got to reach back out to EMC and get electronic verification of this, that, and the third. Basically, the people in their back office, who no one's there, only people there are the call people that answer the phones. Nobody else that actually does real work and gets things really done are even there. They're not at the office at all, period. There's no one there to handle those type things. So instead of saying that, they basically, the first guy tried to give me the runaround, give me some old bullcrap excuse, get me off the phone and be done with it. But when I wasn't going for it, he really tried to explain it by not explaining it. By explaining it being not explained. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's exactly what he did. So when the supervisor got on the phone, she tried to cover it up a little bit by saying, well, basically, you know, he was mistaken in what he said. And the fact of the matter is, they just got to have somebody in their office to actually reach out to the credit bureau and put that information in. But there may be a need to reach out to the actual client, again, EMC, just for verification purposes. But she don't think they'll have to do that because they already got a letter from them stating the information that they're being able to tell me, because they sent me a letter telling me the same thing. So for them to tell me that it's zero, it's been closed out and charged off, they had to hear that from EMC. And if EMC is the one who told them in the first place, why do you need to reach back out to EMC to make sure that the account is zero and then they can send it to the credit bureau? That was a bunch of crap. So basically she threw that in there. Well, maybe they might have to reach out to them just to CYA to cover his ass because he fucked up. But nonetheless, this is the type of stuff we go through with dealing with these administrative assistants and secretaries and phone call center operators who don't know what they're doing, don't know their job, and try to tell you anything and talk to you like you're a kid and hope you don't understand and just get off the phone. But when I sounded like, or they felt like I knew what I was talking about, and he couldn't just brush me off, he started stuttering, he got confused, he sounded like he was sweating over the phone and praying that didn't nobody overhear his conversation. Even the supervisor got a little flustered a couple of times, and you can hear the urgency to try to get past this in her voice, because she didn't want to implicate him in anything. She didn't want to implicate herself by saying anything, and she didn't want to say the wrong thing to me. She started off strong, though, talking over me, cutting me off, basically making me listen to what she had to say before I would say anything. And I actually let her go through with it just to see exactly what she was going to do and how she was going to do it. But when she ran out of stuff to say because she thought I was going to cut her off, she had to actually just listen to what I said. And you all heard everything that I said. So let this be a lesson. Don't just give up sometimes with these people. Talk to them like you got some sense. You know what the truth is. Stay calm. Don't cuss them out and fuss them out. Get you the point. Get you the bottom line. Talk to a supervisor if need be. But you can take care of your own business. Don't just let it go. Because like me, it'll end up being on your credit report for 6 years when it could have been taken care of with one phone call 6 years ago. That's all I had to say. Thank you. I love you all. Good night.